Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, new weekly painting, and this time we are going to paint a piece of terrain. So I would like to paint that in a way that, I will paint this. This is from Spellcrow. Okay, it's a piece of terrain where we have this type of toxic pool or something like that. So I'm going to paint this on this weekly tutorial. I hope you find this interesting. And please let me know what you think at the end of the video, or in the comments below. I mean, not at the end of the video, the comments below. So we will start applying Reynolds height on the piece of terrain, so that it can, I want to start from a dark color. As you can see, I prime it black, and now we are going to apply Reynolds height on all this terrain. Okay, so not too mystery here. Just try to be if you have something like that, this piece have a lot of texture. Okay, this can be done for any type of similar terrain. The techniques I'm going to use here, I will be sure that you go under here. So if you go a little bit on where we have the liquid, no problem. Also where we have the rocks, no problem if you go a little bit over. What we want is a nice, even, homogeneous and Reynolds height as a good base, or dark brown as a good base for the paint job. Okay, so I will apply that and I come back once this is done. Okay, once the blonde mud have dried, now we are going to use a stone vermin fur, and we are going to paint some of the rocks we have around here. Okay, I like to do, now we are going to do all the rocks. We are going to do the dry brush on the rocks and on different elements, and then the last dry brush we are going to do is the one with the brown parts, because then we'll dirty a little bit on the rocks and on the other parts, and we'll simulate the dust and the dirtiness around the area. Okay, but now we use stone vermin fur to paint the different rocks, so I will do that and I come back. Next, I'm going to use racar flesh on some type of mushroom or fungus we have around here, or like weird type of things like this thing. So we are going to use racar flesh on these things. Okay. Here, so we have some of them. So I apply racar flesh and I come back once this is done. Okay. Once we have done all the surrounding, we are going to start painting the pond itself, and I will start applying Caliban green. So we are going to have an accident. Okay, let me, this is a tip. If you have this type of accident, just use it. Okay, so I drop the paint lightly on the table. Is not a big deal, and as you can see, I will apply this on the table and on my finger. So we're going to apply this, and here first I want to do a base, and once I have done this base, we are going to start doing wet blending, right? Because the water is a good, or liquids, it's not water, so liquids is a good part, or is a good occasion when you liquids to do some wet blending. Okay, so I will, but first you need the right base, so I will do 2 layers of this green before. Once the 2 layers have dried, we will start with the wet blending. Once we have the 2 layers, we are ready to start doing the highlights, and I will experiment with a couple of colors from scale 75 that I just bought. So I will use Warstone Glow, sorry. Okay, and I will use 2 colors that are from the Fluor from scale 75 that are, this one is called Techno Green and this one is called Speed Yellow. Okay, they are quite fluorescent colors. I bought this kit. Okay, so I don't remember, it was about 20 something euros, but I wanted to test some new colors, so I put them on my wet palette, and now we are ready to start pulling out the colors. So we'll start with first the closer green to and we will start putting this on the next to the border, okay, something like that. I think I will need to put more of this on my palette, and we will need later on as well the original color that we put, okay, the dark green to help on the transition. But first we start with that. We will paint as well the top of the bubbles, okay. We're going to do this. Don't worry if at the beginning it looks a little bit messy. I just want to first to see where I want, and I'm not using a very good brush, so I don't have a super good precision at this moment. You can see it's an old brush that I'm using. This way the tip is opening, okay, the way to, so we will need to, then where we have the bubble that have exploded, we are going to go around that and just do something like that, and we are going to do as well all the surrounding around. So just where the water, not the water, I want the liquid, sorry, I mean, it's less depth, or there is that, and then normally we can do, you always can do the two things, so you can imagine maybe where you have, but I prefer to do it in that way, it will make more sense, and then all around the bubbles, the exploded bubbles, okay. So this has to be quite a thick liquid in reality to give a footprint like that, to give these marks, so if the bubbles are exploding, leaving these marks. Okay, this is excursion for another day. So I keep putting all these around these bubbles. Okay. And now what we are going to do is we are going to pull this green in a way that sometimes I don't want an homogeneous green, so we want something that is not really that homogeneous, okay, and this is why I'm using an old brush, so you want really to make what you normally don't want on other type of paint jobs is what I'm looking to do here. So just to have like okay, just to break the color, you want brush lines, but you don't want really brush lines. This is why I'm doing this like circular movements, so to have like more. I put a lot, but now it's quite watered down, so you see we spread it and we can make it so you have something like that. You want to put something in the middle, okay, and this way the base was quite dark. Try not to go into the holes, I try to avoid to go into the holes, but just around the holes to avoid that this rim is too stark in some cases. So I reduce the starkness by putting some light in around. Okay, we're going to put more on the borders again. This way you are needing a good base, because if you do that before applying a good layer of the dark green, before letting it to dry, you will start pulling the previous layer. So the base have to be dry. If not, you will start pulling the previous layer. So this is why I want to now to put this. And we're gonna start using the next one, that is the scale 75. If you don't have a scale 75, the other option is to use mood green instead. Okay, you can use mood green and flash with yellow. Okay, these are the other option. Will be less poisoning, and if you have Vallejo, I recommend a lot to use yellow green. So these are other options that you can use. I'm going to use these fluor greens. I know that not everybody have these scale 75 colors, but I wanted really also to, I like to use terrain to test new techniques and new colors, because I'm just thinking to use some of these fluor greens on the noise marine. Leave it in the comments below if you would like me to paint, you would like to see painting the noise marine, the one that was special. You see now that adding this green is adding a lot. I like a lot how it looks like. It's really, you see that it's much more like fluorescent in a way, but also is the consistency. You have the consistency of the scale 75 paints is slightly different. It's more like, I would say, like a wax consistency, or like a more like a, yeah, it's more, it's a paint that it's easy to spread, it's quite transparent in a way. Okay, maybe I should have shake it a little bit more. I was a little bit lazy shaking that. So you can see that it's quite, but you can spread it quite easily. So if you make something that's very visible, you can spread. Okay, it's much brighter than the Warstone glow. So you can come with Warstone glow now. You can even mix them, it's not a problem. So you can, and it's not a problem if some parts are brighter than other. Liquids are not completely homogeneous. Okay, it's up to the taste of everybody. All this, we'll put a little bit of this. You see, it's really bright green. Then I spread it to make it less bright, but it's really a bright green what we are talking here. Okay, so you can make some really nice and bright points, and this is what I say, let it dry sometimes. For if not, you pull it out again and then you lose what you have done. Here we have a bubble that we almost lost. Not a bubble, a small type of clutter. The only thing is, normally these colors are going to be matte, so we will need to apply at the end a gloss varnish here. Okay. Here it's to that, so you can see I'm coming almost, this is almost like a dry brush. Come with the brush with very little paint, but just put a little bit of tint. Just take a little bit of the Warstone glow. And we go here just to add a little bit. You can see it's very watery now. Now I go back to the bubbles. I take the fluor yellow. You will see that this is really a bright yellow, but it will give hop, hop, hop. Okay, and then when it is too bright, you can spread it out. Okay, we can make it something like that. Okay. Now you see the bubbles are really popping up. One thing we can do with the same yellow, okay, we can go around some of these exploded bubbles and just add something like that. Okay, you don't need to complete the full circle. You just need, but we was missing this one here, the little one, and now we are going to put some yellow here. One thing, and I did not do the best job here, is you have to shake really the first time you use this paints, okay? Because the thing that I have not shake it well, so it have more solvent than paint at this moment, than pigments. But this is not a problem, okay? You see, for what I need to do here, it's working well, and it's making the yellow is doing what I wanted, that is to mix well with the green to give this fluorescent green at the end. This is also ideal for warp stones. Okay, this will work very well on warp stones. Taking the yellow, okay, you will see that this yellow is quite transparent as well. And in part it's because I did not shake it completely well, but you can see that you can apply directly on the green, and once you spread it, you will have a green and not. And then this is the thing that I like to do. I like to leave some parts where the yellow is brighter, and we are going to do this in purpose to simulate to simulate a little bit the liquid, right? I'm taking green here and I'm doing the same. Okay, but the yellow is the one that will give this look at the end. Okay, so you see, we'll do with the yellow. We can do it like that, for example. Okay, I put a lot. Now I spread there, and we can leave, for example, this part there. Okay, we'll just spread a little bit. You have this. Okay, you can see that I have to, again, we still have in the brush. We can go a little bit here. And create irregularities, because at the end what you want is to give this look of irregular. Taking yellow now again, and I'm going to do some of these borders. Okay, just to increase the intensity and to, again, what we want to do, create or break with the homogeneity. Okay, we'll add a little bit more, and then we'll add a little bit here. You see, when it dries, it's not as yellowish as it was before, so we can keep adding. Okay, and it dries quite fast, this one. But so far it's doing what I like it, and I have to say that it's giving more the color. I like a lot the color, a little bit more. If you to work with green, I like it a little bit more than the yellow green from Vallejo. This, I find it that it's giving a very nice radioactive yellow. Okay. And yeah, this will finalize the tutorial. I will do more on these fluor paints from. I will try to do, because yeah, before talking about my opinion on the paints, I want to test them a little bit more to use it in other products. But I have to say that scale 75 paints, maybe we'll do a video about that, about the scale 75 paints. I'm using some of them, and I'm quite happy from what I see. I will not substitute most likely all the paint that I have from my workshop, but I think I will include them more and more in my painting. Okay, so you see, I like to do this rim here, and then we can do, for example, here See here, we can do something like that. This will add. You see how nice it's diffuse. Okay, and then you can do something like that. It's just to break the, as I say, to create some. Can keep doing that, and then maybe you can add a little more here. Okay, something like that. And that's a way to do the pond. The poisoning or radioactive pond. Sorry. So this is ideal for escaping, Nurgle, and any contaminated futuristic world where you want to simulate, for example, Adeptus Mechanicum. You want to simulate a residue type of pool or pond. Here you have a way to do it. Okay, we let it dry and we just apply gloss varnish on top of that, and it's done. So this is all what I want to talk on this tutorial. I hope you find interesting. Remember, this piece of terrain is from Spellcrow. I will leave the link in the description below in case you are interested. You see that have a very nice detail. And if you have liked this one, let me know. Leave it in the comments below, because I really want to do tutorials that are meaningful for you, okay? But I have also these pieces of terrain from the same, from Spellcrow. Okay, I will not explain that in the base, but I can explain how I do the mushrooms if you're interested, or how I do this type of alien cactus. Okay, so let me know in the comments below as well if you are interested to see how I paint the other pieces of terrain, and I will keep testing this fluor paints from scale 75. So yeah, that's all for now. I will put in the description below the link to the products that I use for this tutorial. Okay, so yeah, as usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.